Okay, it was hard enough for me to put together my top 25 favorite games of all time, but you guys showed it so much love, and I truly appreciate that. I like the fact that you guys like the personally built top 10s as well. Well, top 25, and today we're going to be doing another one, and this is my personal list, okay? This isn't any list that is out there, how they're all ranked. This is mine, and if you guys want to give yours, I am more than willing to check it out in the comment section today. We're going to be going over the best 25 Xbox 360 games ever. Some would argue this is the best console of all time. Now, once again, to be clear, these games are not all exclusives, and just like the last list, these are my opinions. So just because a game isn't on the list doesn't mean that I think it sucks or doesn't deserve praise, because there were hundreds, maybe thousands of Xbox 360 games, and we are running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Good luck on the giveaway, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, and if you guys want more personal lists, just let me know. And now, we're going to bang through these really quick. Kicking off our list, at number 25 is Battlefield Bad Company 2. Released in 2010, BC2 is still considered by many to be the best game in the entire Battlefield franchise, and I can't blame them for thinking that way. Bad Company 2 followed up the first Bad Company game, which had a very heavy emphasis on story and humor. While the sequel wasn't quite as funny as the first, the campaign was solid, the multiplayer was extremely addicting, and it laid the foundation for pretty much every Battlefield game to come afterwards. At number 24, we have Portal 2, one of Valve's finest creations. Portal 2 was released on the 360 in April of 2011 and is easily one of the best puzzle games of all time. You play a shell who is tasked with finding its way around the Aperture Science Enrichment Center after it's being brought back online by GLaDOS. Now, Portal 2 introduced tons of gameplay mechanics to the series, as well as new and beloved characters like Wheatley, and it holds a little spot in my gaming heart. Another one that holds a little spot and just a fantastic game, and I cannot wait for the newest one to come out, is Far Cry 3. Released in November of 2012, the game was the third main installment in the Far Cry franchise, and it's still the best if you guys ask me. You played as Jason Brody, a young man who goes on vacation with his friends when everything goes wrong and his friends are kidnapped by pirates. You must then adventure across the island, hunt for resources and weapons, and find your friends to bring them home. It's got everything. It's got great gameplay, a beautiful island to explore, awesome characters, and to me, right now, Far Cry 3 is one of the best open world games ever. Now, we'll see when Far Cry 5 comes out. Can't have a list without this game on it. At number 22, Mass Effect 2. The game had a lot to prove when it was released. Much like the first Assassin's Creed game, the original Mass Effect was praised for its story and characters, but it was criticized for being repetitive and pretty clunky. Mass Effect 2 was released in January of 2010 and managed to fix every single problem that the first game had, all while maintaining its own essence. While the sequel was a lot more linear than the first game, that wasn't a bad thing due to the combat being so smooth and fun and the story being extremely engaging. Mass Effect 2 is just an all-around awesome game. I love this game. If you've never played it, please go give it a try. At number 21, Fear. This horror FPS was released for the Xbox 360 on Halloween of 2006, and it puts you in the shoes of an elite task force as they investigate a paranormal happening. The shooting was great. The atmosphere was, it was great. It was terrifying. There was jump scares in this game, and it's widely regarded as one of the scariest ever made. If you guys are a fan of horror games and FPS games, definitely go check out the first Fear game. They're all good, but to me, the first is hands down the best. At number 20, Dead Rising. Released in 2006, Dead Rising took a new approach to the zombie genre. Instead of having you cower in fear, carefully maneuver around the zombies like in other games, Dead Rising said, screw that. Kill as many zombies as you can, as possibly as fast as you can, and whatever the hell you want to use, you can craft it. You can find yourself trapped in a shopping mall where you craft weapons and materials and take out thousands upon thousands of the undead that stand between you and survival. These Dead Rising games, all of them are awesome, but I like to go back to the original when it's such a good series. At number 19, Halo Reach. Now, Bungie's last outing with the Halo franchise, the community was pretty split on the game. On one hand, you had Halo purists who hated all the new additions to the gameplay. But on the other hand, you had people like me who absolutely loved all the new tweaks and had a blast with it. Now, Halo Reach takes place before combat evolved and puts you in the shoes of the Noble team as they try to retrieve an advanced AI, Cortana, and return it to the human forces before the Covenant take over. The thing that got me with this game, and the reason it's on the list, is the story. It's an emotional story, an expansive multiplayer, firefight mode, forge mode, all that. But the story, the ending, if you've never played it, I'm not going to spoil it, it can legit put you into tears. At number 18, another zombie game, Left 4 Dead, another one of Valve's finest creations. Left 4 Dead is a co-op FPS released in 2008 and had you play as a group of survivals, all with unique personalities as you worked your way through episodic levels while fighting off thousands of zombies and making sure that you all made it out alive. No one gets left behind. Left 4 Dead was praised for its co-op campaign as well as its addicting multiplayer, which is a ton of fun, and to me it's a bummer that so many people have forgot about this classic game. Once again, this is my personal list. This may not make it on other people's list, but here it is at number 17. L.A. Noire. The game is actually being re-released soon, and I'm stoked about it. Developed by Team Bond and Rockstar, L.A. Noire came out in 2011 and had you play as a detective in L.A. in the 40s as you started connecting crime after crime with extremely in-depth interrogations and detailed environments. The amount of detail that this game had, even in 2011, is amazing, and I cannot wait for it to be released in 4K this November. If you've never tried this game, this is what I like to call a sleeper game. You should definitely go give it a try. A lot of people forget that this is actually the spiritual successor to System Shock. I'm referring to BioShock at number 16. It came out in 2007 and was developed by 2K Games, and the game sent you back to the year 1960 in an underwater city called Rapture. You then tried to figure out what went wrong with the city and what led to the city's horrific downfall, and BioShock managed to create an experience that was just as fun and as engaging as it was scary and disturbing. And that, to me, makes it absolutely excellent. Okay, we talked about Mass Effect 2, but like I said, I like to revert to the original in glorified franchises. At number 15, Mass Effect. While Mass Effect is the second one is the one that really perfected the gameplay, many people, myself included, love the original for all that it did right. The first game introduced us to an awesome world and tons of characters, and it was much more of a traditional RPG than the later games, allowing you, the player, to feel like they're even contributing even more to the story. While the original may not be your favorite in the series, I loved it. Okay, you knew it was only a matter of time before we got a Call of Duty game on the Xbox 360 Jimmy's Best Top 25 list. And here it is. At number 14, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the game that truly put COD on the map. Modern Warfare was released in 2007 and turned the FPS genre upside down when it launched. At the time of its release, so many of the gameplay elements had never been seen before. Not only did COD 4 have an excellent campaign with great characters and awesome level design, but it also had a fast-paced multiplayer featuring custom classes, kill streaks, and tons of weapons for the players to choose from. COD 4 redefined the first-person shooter genre and helped make the franchise what it is today. Speaking of games that changed franchises, at number 13, we have Fallout 3, which launched in October of 2008 and made countless changes to the existing series. Up until this point, Fallout had been a 2D turn-based RPG for the PC. But after Bethesda acquired the license, they made dramatic changes and turned Fallout into a first-person, open-world RPG shooter. And I think everybody's pretty glad they did. Fallout 3's atmosphere is some of the best that I have ever seen in a video game. And while the combat's not the best, it's still a ton of fun once you get used to it and figure it out. Fallout 3 is widely regarded as one of the best open-world games of all time, and I second that. At number 12, Gears of War 2. After the first Gears game redefined the third-person shooter genre, Gears of War 2 came swooping in and expanded their already great formula, resulting in a fantastic game. Gears 2 campaign was much more emotional and grounded than the first one, focusing more on the characters and the impact of war as opposed to just fighting off enemies. The multiplayer was also greatly expanded upon, adding new weapons and smoothing out the gameplay. And let's not forget the introduction of Horde mode, one of the most popular and most copied game modes ever. Gears of War 2 really is the whole package when it comes to a Gears game. At number 11, we have Resident Evil 4. While RE4 wasn't initially released on the Xbox 360, it got an HD port in 2011 that improved the textures, visual quality, and frame rate. And this version is, in my opinion, the way the game was meant to be played. Resident Evil 4 is easily one of the scariest and most influential games ever made. Not only was it terrifying, but the gameplay was extremely innovative, and it was one of the first games to ever place a camera over your character's right shoulder, which is a perspective we're pretty used to seeing now. Resident Evil 4 is one of the best horror games ever created, and if you've never played it, you should. And I want to know in the comment section, what is your favorite Resident Evil game of all time? Woo! We got to the top 10, my friends. At number 10, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Arrow to the Knee. One of the most popular games ever made, Skyrim launched in November of 2011 to critical acclaim from gamers and critics alike. You played as a unique character in the world of Skyrim as you completed quests and developed your skills in order to prepare to do battle with Alduin the World Eater, a dragon who had been prophesied to destroy the planet. The game takes the cake in terms of the sheer amount of stuff to do, and as there were tons of people who've been playing the game since launch, and they are still putting hours into it. There's so much to do in this game that you got all that content right out of the gate. At number 9, we have to give some love to Borderlands. Borderlands 2, I love this game. Developed by Gearbox and published by 2K. The sequel launched on September 18th, 2012 to critical acclaim and a huge fan base. Borderlands 2 is an FPS RPG hybrid that took place on the planet Pandora as you completed quests, hunted for loot, and tried to get the best weapons possible. There were some crazy weapons in this game. If you're looking for an awesome loot grind game, Borderlands 2 has got you covered. This game, this one specifically, is all about the loot. At number 8, we have a game with an interesting premise when it was first released, and it took everybody by surprise with how good it was and how terrifying it was. Dead Space. You play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer who gets stuck on a mining ship during a horrific outbreak that reanimated corpses and turned them into necromorphs. You then have to fight your way off the ship and use your trusty plasma cutter to eliminate all of the aliens in your path in a grisly fashion. Now, this could have flopped because alien takeover ship games are everywhere. But the way they did Dead Space, they did it to perfection. At number 7, we have Batman Arkham City, widely considered by a lot of people to be the best superhero game of all time. Batman Arkham City was the sequel to Arkham Asylum and puts you in the shoes of the Dark Knight as you try to get to the bottom of an uprising in a large prison and put a stop to Protocol 10, led by Hugo Strange, all while fighting off all the supervillains stuck inside the prison with you, like the Joker, the Riddler, Mr. Freeze, and countless more. An excellent story, a great open world, smooth combat, and tons of gadgets to use. Arkham City is hands down the best Batman game ever made, in my opinion, and the best superhero game as well. At number 6, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Man, the feels of this storyline, everything that COD 4 did, Modern Warfare 2 amplified by 10. It launched in 2009 with a campaign that followed up the events of the first Modern Warfare game and a multiplayer that was one of the most chaotic and addicting online battlegrounds ever. Tons of kill streaks, the introduction of pro perks, new guns and equipment, iconic maps, and the infamous tactical nuke. Modern Warfare 2 is a great game, and I really hope, I think we will, get a remastered version sometime in the future, or at least a backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Alright guys, we've made it to the top 5. My top 5 personal best Xbox 360 games. And taking the number 5 spot is Grand Theft Auto 4. My favorite personal entry in the GTA franchise. GTA 4 launched in 2008 and had you play as Niko Bellic, a war vet who gets caught up with the mobs and the crime rings of Liberty City. The open world was awesome, and the expansive and based on various parts of New York City was pretty cool. GTA 4 also introduced many multiplayer elements that would be expanded upon in GTA Online a few years later. To me, this is the best one in the series. Like I said, originals take the cake to me. At number 4, Gears of War. The game came out on the 360 in 2006 and quickly became the most popular game on Xbox Live, pushing Halo 2 out of the first place spot, which is not an easy task. Gears of War was a third-person shooter that told the story of Delta Squad, a team of 4 who were tasked with going behind enemy lines and trying to bring an end to the war with the Locust, a strange and murderous race that emerged from underground and wiped out 99% of the human race. Gears had great characters, awesome gameplay, gruesome violence, and to me, it set up one of my favorite universes in gaming history. At number 3, Red Dead Redemption. Are you guys ready for Red Dead Redemption 2? Released in 2010, this game is possibly Rockstar's finest creation. You played as a former outlaw in the Wild West, as he was tasked with hunting down his former gang members in order to live a normal life with his family. An emotional story, awesome gameplay, a gorgeous open world to explore, and an ending that I can't wait to see how it carries into Red Dead Redemption 2 in just a few months. This game is phenomenal. Okay, guys, there's only 2 left. At number 2, Halo 3. Released in 2007, Halo 3 is the epitome of a Halo experience. Seriously, for me, the game has everything you could want from a game with the word Halo on the box. You played once again as Master Chief in a campaign as the humans in Covenant are forced to work together to take down the Prophet of Truth and his army of brutes. In addition to the story, you had the multiplayer, which was so jam-packed with content, it's still played today. Plus, the addition of Forge and the expansion of custom games and theater mode led to awesome maps, game modes, and machinimas from YouTube's creators. Halo 3 is just all around a fantastic game, and if you don't have it, you should get it. It's backwards compatible on the Xbox One, and it still has a pretty active player base all these years later. All right, guys, we have reached the number 1 spot. I want to know if anybody could actually guess it. I think I shocked a few of you with this one, okay? My favorite game on Xbox 360 goes to Call of Duty Black Ops 2. The game is special to me. Aside from being an all-around fantastic game, Black Ops 2 is just a great time for gamers and YouTubes. It featured a deep and engaging campaign with branching storylines and multiple endings, and the multiplayer introduced the Pick-10 system and is considered by many to be the best COD multiplayer to date, leading to it still being populated to this day. You got zombies, you got the expanding on Black Ops 1 and World at War, you just everything. Trolling videos, class setups, esports, commentaries, map tutorials. It was the peak of COD on YouTube, and I'm hoping that Call of Duty World War II can capture that essence again. But for me, so many memories with Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360. It takes my number 1 spot. There you have it, my friends. Those are the best 25 Xbox 360 games picked by me and put in order by me. If you like these personal lists, let me know. I'll keep doing them. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your list is, and I'll see you on the next video.